No, I'm stuck in a room. I don't even know where I am. Why is there such an echo? I'm feeling alone. I feel isolated. Why am I stuck in this room? Help me, please. Oi, we're in a big problem now. I'm in an empty room. It's a bit dark, and I'm all alone. I have to move back. There's no one here. I can feel an echo. Maybe I can speak loudly. But there's no one here, and it's actually quite eerie, and it's scary. And today I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind for a long time. And it's a big problem that we're having in our society today. It emanates from a point of people using endless amounts of social media, people never leaving the home, people not be engaging with their families. And it's a problem that not only myself, but I believe that you also deal with it. And it's feeling alone. Feeling alone. Like it's you and me as a team up against the rest of the world. And I've felt it in almost every single area of my life. For me, it would be gym. I feel alone when apologies about echo, but I feel alone when I'm at home every single day. I lift weights every single day. I train without a doubt, without a break, without relaxing. I don't do any of that. I just train every day. And it's just me in an empty room. What it feels like to be alone? Well, that's a really tough question to answer. Because oftentimes it's my thoughts that occupy me. I don't know if you've felt something similar, but it's my thoughts that have occupied me, that keep me thinking, calculating maths. What percentage of the workload have I done? How much more do I need to do today? And it's a very interesting concept that I haven't really felt alone, but I have been by myself. And that's a weird concept. You know, it's possible to be by yourself and not feel alone, and be by yourself and feel alone. Now let's paint two scenarios. One person is alone by themselves in a room. But what they're doing is they are looking at TikTok, videos, scrolling. And they're ordering Uber Eats, eating unhealthy food, McDonald's, Burger King, Coca-Cola. That's our person A. Person B is maybe something a little bit more similar to myself, or maybe yourself if you're one of my fans. Then it means you're going to be doing gym every night. He's going to be working, trying to take all the second-hand products in that different room and put it online. Whatever it is, he's going to keep on doing that kind of stuff. So now let's compare both people. Which person feels more alone? If that's all we know, and whatever I've told you is their life, that guy's life is TikTok, and that guy's life is doing things that are beneficial for him. I would venture to say that that guy who is doing things that are beneficial for him has more energy, has more oomph, has more of a beast mode instinct, and that man's less likely. I'm not saying not impossible, I'm saying less likely to feel alone. And what's interesting is all the people that I meet in my day-to-day situation, there's a guy called Leah, and he's teaching me how to eat for gym, how to eat for maths. I said, Leah, look, I'm really struggling to get big, right? I feel small, I feel skinny. What can I do to get bigger? And from him and a few other people that I've asked, they all said, eat well, train hard. Yesterday I was speaking to another guy, a good friend of mine, and we used to play snooker and pool together. And he said that first he had to grow taller. He's just below my height, and then he had to grow wide. So now let's come back to Leah. Leah was telling me how to eat well. And he told me I need to have 3 eggs a day and 2 slices of toast. And that would help me to get that mass and get bigger. Fine. So then I actually went and did it. Now every morning I end up having 2 slices of toast and 5 eggs. Not 3, but 5. So what's interesting is I followed Leah's advice. And when I'm doing it, even though it's about me by myself in my room, or me by myself in the kitchen, I don't feel alone because I'm remembering the conversation I had with Leah, and then I'm transposing that connection that the two of us have and putting it back inside my brain while I'm in the kitchen by myself. So yes, I'm alone in a room, but it doesn't mean that I'm actually feeling lonely. And that's a very interesting concept. So long as you're having a few interpersonal connections, so long as you're chatting to the person at the shop, so long as you're chatting to your teacher, so long as you're saying hello to your friend, or taking your mom for coffee, that's all you need to never feel alone. But there are certain things that actually could attack you. And I want to talk about those things because they will make you feel alone. And I don't want you to feel isolated, lonely, by yourself. I don't want you to feel those emotions. because I want you to feel part of something. And I felt that when I was speaking to people in my own life, and particularly because a lot of my time spent in school as it stands now, I felt that I couldn't get my words out. I felt that the second I started to speak, it just got shut down. Why would I have to put up my hand to speak? I just want to chat, I want to tell jokes, I want to make comedic references. All these funny things that I really wanted to do. And unfortunately, I was really being content. So I found these videos as a way of you and I connecting, kind of like sharing a coffee or having a chat together. And this helps me to not feel alone. Because right now, if we look at it logically, there is this big room with a big echo and just one single person. Out of 7 billion plus people in the world, it's only me in this room. And in the room that you are in, I want you to think of that. You are 1 in 7 billion people. Or is it 8 billion now? 1 in 7 or 8.4 billion people in that room. The only one. Do you have any idea how unlikely that is? That you are in that very room. So I think it all starts with appreciation. To stop feeling alone. It starts with appreciation. If you aren't religious, that is your own decision. But I highly recommend that if you are religious, you pick a religion. Doesn't matter which one. And what happens is once you start to foster that relationship with God, what will come from that, what emanates from that is a strength and a power that no one can take away from you. Because you have a divine connection with the Lord above, and that's what helps you. He walks with you on your way. He comes with you as you go. He supports you and gives you strength, like a balloon. See, a balloon wouldn't be used for a party. You can't make a party unless you have the air inside the balloon. You are the balloon, you are the vessel, but God is the air. And once you have both, then you can be used for celebration and for happiness. But you've got to first fill up your vessel. So with that, all I can say is, sometimes being alone isn't necessarily the worst thing. If you are feeling alone, foster a connection with God, because that will give you that connection that you so desperately need. And sometimes having a few interpersonal connections can help a lot when in the way of not feeling isolated and alone. And sometimes, even if you are by yourself in a room, it depends on the things that you do. Are you building up yourself, or are you using things that attack you? And as I said, there are things that make you feel isolated and lonely, and one of them is social media. But social media if you consume it, not social media if you produce to share with people your own story. So with that, you and I think have reached a good point. I think we know what the story is. I think that you know exactly what to do. And I hope that you don't feel isolated anymore. Remember, I believe in you. Since day one. Since day one.